Week 1 is in the books. How does your fantasy team do? If you're like me, well, it was absolutely horrible. So who do you pick up? Who do you let go? And let's take a look back at, well, some of the other guys that did pretty well this week. It's FF Champs on Football Nation. As we mentioned, Week 1 in the books, and of course, who better to talk to than FF Champs' own Billy Enright. Bill, welcome in. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's going on? Week 1's in the books. We're already looking forward to Week 2 and how we can help everyone out there win their leagues.
I absolutely love it. So let's take a look back at first, and let's kind of review and recap everything that took place this past weekend. Let's start off with Adrian Peterson. The guy's still a freak.
Adrian Peterson, the NFL's back, and so is Adrian Peterson. Only 8 months removed from that ACL injury. Was supposed to be limited 8 to 10 reps during the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Instead, he got 18 carries. Finished with 2 touchdowns on the day. If you let him slip past you in your drafts, late second round, mid third round, you're kicking yourself right now because it looks like Adrian Peterson is going to be back to normal in no time. Already has 2 touchdowns on the year.
Okay, so you talk about Adrian Peterson putting up big numbers, but a team that put up big numbers across the board were the New York Jets. Now, are they fantasy friendly at this point in time or what?
The New York Jets, who the heck would have thought that? They didn't score any touchdowns in their first 3 preseason games, and then all of a sudden we look at what the box scores from Week 1, and we see the Jets as the highest scoring team across the league, more than the Packers, more than the Patriots, more than the Saints. The Jets, the New York Jets, Mark Sanchez, Tim Tebow, 48 points. They laid it up on the Buffalo Bills. Now, this is the question. Is it a really bad Buffalo Bills defense, or is it a really good New York Jets offense? I think it's a little bit of both. Sanchez looked great. Tim Tebow really a non-factor. And how about the help from the wide receivers, rookie Stephen Hill, Jeremy Curley, and plus the veteran Santonio Holmes. Even Sean Green got into the mix with 96 yards and a touchdown.
Bill, let's talk about quarterbacks in particular, because you mentioned Mark Sanchez, and this was interesting because Sanchez, not a guy that was picked up in the early rounds. You could get some pretty decent numbers out of guys, quarterbacks specifically, that you pick up in the latter rounds.
Absolutely love what Matt Ryan did Sunday against the Chiefs. We were talking about him all preseason long. He's going to emerge as a top 6 quarterback this year, and he proved it yesterday with 4 touchdowns, 299 yards. His average draft position was after the 6th round. He put up the most points for a quarterback yesterday with 38. Some other guys that you could have drafted late that scored better than the Rodgers, the Bradys, the Brees. Tony Romo, 29 points, could have got him after round 7.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of second-year quarterbacks. What about the rookie quarterbacks? Are these guys we should be looking at?
Oh, man, some of those rookies were awful yesterday. We had 5 rookie quarterbacks starting. Robert Griffin III, Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, Brandon Weeden, and help me out here, Ryan Tannehill. Miami Dolphins, hard knock life. Poor Ryan Tannehill. You know, the guy has a really hot-looking girlfriend, but he has no hot receivers. They can't catch the ball. They were smacked around by the Texans. He had like 3 or 4 interceptions. Andrew Luck had 3 interceptions. Brandon Weeden. Listen to this. Brandon Weeden's QB rating yesterday was 5.01. His ERA when he was a minor league baseball pitcher was 5.02. Pretty much identical. Probably the worst QB rating I've ever heard of. Other than RG3, it looks like you're going to need to have some patience with these rookie quarterbacks before inserting them into your fantasy lineups.
Bill, before I let you go, doesn't Tannehill get at least a couple of points for having that hot chick by his side?
Oh, I mean, whenever you have a hot blonde on your arm, all things in the world are fine. But when you're out there alone on Sunday and you're throwing the ball to the wrong team, you know, it's kind of hard to be thinking of the hotness that he usually walks around with.
Fair enough. You got to love what he's bringing to the table. I love what Billy Enright's bringing to the table. For Bill Enright, I'm Tyler Piper. This is FF Champs on Football Nation.